Hi everybody, this is Lynn from Creative Concept Crafts with my tribute to the Ukrainian crisis in this beautiful piece collection. I've already created the sunflower in a previous video, which is the national flower of the Ukraine, and I'm going to complete it with the colours of the flag plus the trident insignia. With a couple of the flowers attached. So there's a matching box and envelope box as always to go with the card. All the mats and layers have just been laid, and in this particular one I haven't done a matte 2 decor. I've just added the tridents to either the matte 1 blue or matte 1 yellow. So what do we need for this card? The base card and the insert, I've used a very pale lemon. So that's just a simple fold. I've gone round the outside, all the way round on the scoreboard, on the right hand side of a hunky-dory scoreboard, as I have with the insert, and that's 2 valley folds and a mountain fold in the centre. So it's a really quick and simple design to put together is this one, but I think it's just so beautiful, and I just hope that peace comes quickly. So what we're going to do is to start with the matting and layering on the outside of the card. So I'm just burnishing that crease line down to take the bounce out of it. And the pieces that we need are the 2 large rectangles and the piece insignia, which is being cut in half. There's half of it on one of the mat, on the yellow mat, half on the blue mat. So they're there ready to you'll cut them out at the same time you cut all the mats and layers out. So I'm going to start off by just gluing the blue, and because I've got that beveled edge, this fits exactly inside. I'm just making sure of the position on the bottom part there to make sure that I've got an even mat between. Now we can add the base part, which fits snug underneath the blue, so there's no gap and it fits directly underneath. Can you see that? And I think you can see the beveled edge there as well, all the way around. So we just need to add the piece insignia now. Incidentally, I don't know if you know, but the piece insignia turned the other way up with the triangle to the top signifies disarmament. I didn't know that either until I started working with the design. Just an interesting fact. I've made sure I've centered that. I've got my card centered on my board with the A on a center line, and then this just lines up round the edge of the circle and through the center. So that's the front of the card complete, with the exception of the flower, which I'll add once I've completed the other part of the card. So now we're on to the inside, and I'm going to start off by just matting and layering the 2. I would normally put these onto a matte 2 decor, but because there's just the 2 pieces, there's one on the blue mat, one on the yellow mat, I've just left everything on the in with its own colour. So once you cut, you'll be cutting everything out in the one colour and then everything in the other colour. So we're repeating the same thing. Now there is actually only one of these on the Ukrainian flag, but for the sake of the card I've just added one on each side. So just burnishing down the mat. And now we're ready to start adding all the mats and layers. So I'm just going to speed through this little bit. So again, directly lining up the blue and the yellow. There's no gap between any of these layers. And again, lining up across the top, across the bottom as well as I'm going. So that's the matting and layering of the inside of the card completed. Just burnishing down. And the next thing is to add that to our base card. Just fold back a quarter and just glue the whole area, and then lining up edges, top, bottom and sides. It's not a mat, it fits exactly to the edge of your card. And then again burnishing down. And we're going to repeat that for the same quarter on the other side of the card. So again, just gluing round, and then I'll bring that in and just line up top, bottom and the edge, the side edge. And I'm going to burnish that down again. So that's the card as it stands completed at that stage. And for the video I'm going to add a floating peace symbol. So again, just gluing. The base of the circle fits exactly onto the edge of the blue mat, but the wording, there is a matte layer. I wanted to just give that piece a little bit more stand out with the mat, but the rest of it, it fits exactly onto the base. Okay, can you see that? Now then we can add that to the centre of the card. At this stage I wasn't sure whether I was going to attach it top and bottom, so I've cut a piece of nylon fishing wire the length of the card. So I've just cut a rough piece, but I cut it the length of the card. So it's 0.4 millimeter, sorry, thick. So it's not very thick. And that's going to go into the centre line there. I'm just measuring it down at the minute. I decided in the end not to attach it to the bottom as well, but I did put it in all the way down. I needn't have done this. You can just use a piece that goes roughly to the centre of your dangle. So I'm just adding glue down the centre. Halfway would have done. But if you're wanting to attach it to the top and the bottom, which you can do if you wish, then you need to centre your nylon wire. So I'm going to now attach that nylon wire to the centre of the pop out. So it just needs to drop slightly below the height of the circle so that it dangles in the middle. So I'm going to add glue now just to the centre, that centre line. So getting the wire up inside and just pull and press down on the centre line there. So that's where I decided I was going to leave it to dangle. So I'm just going to remove the excess nylon wire from the bottom, and there's the card completed. I'm just going to finish it off with a couple of the sunflowers, the traditional flower of the Ukraine, and I'm just going to pop a couple of the smaller flowers into the centre of the piece insignia. So there's the inside of the card completed, and when you close the card up, that piece will slide sideways into the hole so that it's not extending beyond the outside of your card. And as I said, I'm adding another flower to the front of the card, and I think for this particular design, simplest is best, and I hope you like my take on the troubles in the Ukraine. So there's the matching box and envelope box, and the sunflower, which I've now created a box in the Ukrainian colours, the little vase with the sunflowers for the piece collection. Until the next time, bye for now.